A block, we're going to pretend she's not here yet. Then C block, well, whatever.
C block, wasn't that your girlfriend's name in high school?
What does that even mean?
Cock block.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Why don't we use that in the podcast?
All
right.
Anyway, moving on.
Welcome to a new episode of The Usual Saints. I'm here with Jeremy and Sainte, and I'm Mike D. What's going on, guys?
Be with us any minute.
Vinny is not coming back. Oh, he is gone forever. He did not go to the farm.
All right,
your parents did not drop him off on the farm where he's living a better life. He is gone. He couldn't handle being the pillow fucker, and so he has left us, and that's sad. It makes me. I was just thinking about that today. I'm like, man, did we make him leave by like making the pillow fucker jokes? Was it just too much for him, and he thought that people, if he got a school job, would find out about it? Like, is it our fault or what, or is it just him? Maybe it was just time for him to go. I don't know. You got any thoughts on that?
No.
I guess I just kind of feel like, I don't know, Vinny, love the guy. Just was kind of like one of them dudes where he's just like, I don't want to. You ever meet those people? They just feel like, if, even though it might not be true, they kind of feel like something's like taking too much of, of them. Like, I gotta, I really have to commit to this podcast, and I just don't want the extra responsibility, even though it's just, basically the four of us just getting on microphone and just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of feel like he felt it was a bigger responsibility than it actually was or is.
I think that every time Mike texts me or texts and says, "What are we doing the podcast?"
See, there you go.
I hate Jeremy. So hey, guess what?
It's just
I love watching you guys' relationship. I'm like, these guys are friends. They've known each other, and the way they go, it's so entertaining.
This is what we've been doing for 7 years now. So with sometimes negative negative things going on, but that's fine. So hey, we have a special guest today. We have Pixie from Next on Stage One. It's a podcast about stripping and stripper stories and stuff. She's a retired stripper. She does the podcast with her co-host Mister J. So we have her in our B block. So listen for that in a few minutes. I know we want to do a short A block because we have an interview coming up, but I feel like we'd be
long.
See, now you're breaking the fourth wall, man. Because like now we're gonna have to talk about that. We already recorded the fucking interview.
And man, I hope our audio is gonna be really good. But coming up next.
Listen, we had some technical difficulties. Saint's going to do whatever he does with it when he edits it. But anyway, yes, it was a great interview. So listen to it next. I feel like we have to, at least if we talk about nothing else, because we already talked about John Madden last week. Betty White has to fucking die on December 31st, literally the last day of the year. Everyone thought
that shit out of the way last year. Better than her dying like the first week of this year. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but she was 17 days from 100, man. Like, and that's the problem. Like, everyone was already prepped for it. They have a TV special, which they're still going to air. They have like People magazine covers. They have everything. And I get it. You need preparation, but at the same time, maybe wait until she hits 100 and then do the stuff.
So people are saying she got the last laugh. The People magazine came out, which is going to be a collector's item that said Betty White hits 100. And she's like, nope, fuckers, I'm out. And so now she knows the secret. And she went out on her own terms, and just like a true G, salute to, one of the all-time legends, Betty White. I like, you people are getting ready for me to be 100. Well, guess what? Out. Peace. I mean, I love Betty. I just love like her comedy. She was always in the joke. You read about her career, what she went through in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Just a trailblazer, and I was always down for the joke, always down for the comedy. So, and she went out with the last laugh. He's like, nope, not giving you 100, fuckers. See ya.
Did you know that she was actually the oldest member of the Golden Girls cast, even older than Estelle Getty? And it's famous that Estelle Getty was only like 2 years older than B. Arthur.
No, she was younger.
Right.
2 years younger. Okay, sorry, my bad.
The one that played what's her name's mom, B. Arthur's mom, was the youngest.
Estelle Getty was the youngest? No, I thought Rue McClanahan was. No,
I could swear.
I wish we had the internet.
Yeah, we do this a lot.
This is Jeremy's infamous line. Oh, we had the internet. But anyway, like. She never acted her age, like, because she was in like a few Comedy Central roasts. She did the Shatner roast, which Stern played on his show the other day, where she did a funny joke. And, it was written for her, but she did it wonderfully the way she read it. It was something about, she said, we all know Shatner's nuts, but George, because George Takei was there, George, you're the only one that's tasted them. So, that's funny. But she was always good. She did that football commercial a few years ago for Snickers, where, hey, have a Snickers, and she's getting knocked the fuck around. And sure, it's probably half of it was CGI. But, I always thought she was fun. She had that cute little relationship with Ryan Reynolds. I never watched what's that movie she was in with him, with Sandra Bullock, Jeremy? I'm sure you know the name of that one. That the meeting, the proposal. That sounds right.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
where
proposal.
Sandra Bullock's the boss and she needs a green card. Yeah, which is funny because Ryan Reynolds is the Canadian, but that's fine. Yeah, not in the movie. But anyway, R.I.P. Betty White. Since we're going to do our death block, Peter Bogdanovich died too. I'm sure Jeremy doesn't really know who he is. He was a director.
He's a director.
Yeah, apparently, like, he was big in the 70s. I never watched any of his films, but I know him more as like anytime he would pop up, because he's got a really unique look to him. Like, he was on Sopranos, and so like I would be in my mind, oh, that's Peter Bogdanovich. I looked at his IMDb a little bit today. He was in a lot of stuff, usually as himself or as a director, because that's what he did. I think in the Sopranos, I think he played like a psychiatrist or something. That was talking to Dr. Melfi or whatnot, Lorraine Bracco. But he just died today. He was 82. I think that was today. RIP guys. Death block. Oh, hey, death block. Hey, got my new death tattoo. Woo. Here we go.
All right.
See.
So I looked it up.
For the podcast listeners, yes, Mike has a new tattoo that you cannot see. And it's of death from, what's it, the Sandman? That was
the Sandman, yeah.
Right.
So
and shout out to the artist that David Mack drew that watercolor. But go ahead, Jeremy.
Betty White was the oldest, then B. Arthur, then Estelle Getty, and then Rue McClanahan was the youngest.
So Estelle Getty Rue was the youngest. Okay.
Yeah, she was only like 50 something when she was on the Golden Girls.
Well, I was about to say, I just saw when looking this up, there's a bunch of articles in the last couple of days that the actresses on the Sex and the City reboot are the same age that the actresses were when they did the Golden Girls. I was like, damn.
That's actually a great stat. It
is. I'm like, holy shit. I saw that. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But yeah, I bet you they are. Because what? Golden Girls was on 30 something years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with our interview with Pixie from Next on Stage One. You're listening to The Usual Saints. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Zeb Wells and you're listening to The Usual Saints.
Welcome back to The Usual Saints. I'm Mike D here with Sainte and Jeremy, and we have our special guest Pixie from the podcast Next on Stage One. What's your co-host's name? Mr. J?
Mr. J.
Is that like the Joker?
Kind of. His stage name when he was a dancer was Smooth.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you've been doing a podcast a little bit longer than we have. Well, technically we started ours. If we count our first season, it was 2007, but that was before podcasts was really, and it's kind of bobo. That was back in the day on Stickum, but you have been doing it in a professional sense for what? You're on season 3 now, right?
Season 3, but we've only been recording for a year and like 3 months. So
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And how's that going for you? Obviously, I see you have your swag that you're giving out. So that's something we've looked into. But I mean, how is it going for you? And we'll start there.
Well, it's going really good. We hit 11K downloads. People are definitely like strippers, so that's a lot of fun. I signed up for what is it, Sticker Mule, and if you sign up for their things, sometimes they'll randomly send you like these discounted items. So that t-shirt that I bought was like $10 from Sticker Mule with free shipping. And so I didn't like the color quality, so I'm just giving it away.
Nice.
It's very orange. It's a large. So I'm like, who do I know that's going to fit a large? Everyone's like extra large these days.
Yeah. I need a double X here. But how did you get into the podcast? I mean, we're going to get into your whole background and everything and kind of what started that. But is that how it started? Like, did you know Smooth Mr. J beforehand?
I've known him since 2006 when he was my boss as an independent dancer. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've known him for a long time.
Okay. And so you mentioned independent dancer, like what did that consist of? Like when you were doing that and what got you into it?
We did private parties and stuff. And I was already a dancer for several years. And I wanted to do something a little different than the club life and try and make some bigger money. And at that time, the independent non-club life was very lucrative back then.
Not now.
Private parties and like bachelor parties, all kinds of fun things.
I'm sure you've seen some wild things in your life. Jeremy's bachelor party. Oh my God, Jeremy, that was crazy. Me, you, and that other guy.
Really wasn't. We went to dinner in a strip club for like 10 minutes. Neither one of you brought any money to spend on me, so we didn't stay very long. Yeah. Yeah.
Each of you guys had a Coca-Cola and then it was like a trip around the stages and then you left.
I don't even know if we did that much.
Do you even remember which one we went to, Jeremy?
We went to 2, I think.
I don't remember the names.
Tease Lounge, maybe.
And Tease Lounge. Okay. Rhino. Oh, we did go to Spearmint Rhino. I had fun at Spearmint Rhino.
I'm sure you did.
We're down here in Florida, Pixie. So, nice. But that was a while ago. So when you do these independent parties, because honestly, I've never experienced that. I don't know if Sainte or Jeremy has. Like, I've never been at like a bachelor party where Sainte's thinking where there was like an independent person who showed up or anything like that. What kind of atmosphere is that like? And is it something where it can be dangerous? I mean, obviously.
It can be totally dangerous. Yeah, that's we used to get dressed up in like theme costumes. Like we'd have like these really sexy police outfits and I have a fantastic knock on the door that sounds pretty real. And when we get there to the door, we knock on the door and we come into the party, and it's usually like a house party is what happens. My Mr. J would usually go in, talk to the point of contact, and we have to find out who the bachelor party was for, and then sequester him. Well, we had like one of those great big boom boxes. This is back when we didn't have fancy smartphones to play all of our music. It was usually a lot of fun. We did a lot of themes, superheroes and like Playboy bunnies and fun stuff like that. Firefighters, whatever the customer wanted, we'd come in, we'd sequester like the bachelor in a spot, we'd do a lap dance for him, and then we had a whole bunch of party games and stuff and a lot of fun.
All right, well, that's what it's about, and hopefully it was more fun than not.
So would Mr. J stay the whole time, kind of be security as well?
Yep, because he was our think like a ring announcer basically. He was there to tell everybody who we were, tell everybody about the party games. It was like a big affair. It wasn't just like 2 girls in stripper heels just dancing on people for an hour. It was more showboating.
And what got you into that line of work? You said you were a dancer before that at clubs and whatnot, or no?
How I first got into it, I was 18 with a brand new baby. And no understandable skills that I had. So I kind of fell onto something that I thought I knew. I thought at 18, I thought I knew what was sexy, and I was dead wrong.
You learned that probably pretty quickly, that it's not exactly what you think. I mean, I'll give an example. Like I was talking to Jeremy, saying wasn't in the room yet. I stopped by a strip club today just because I wanted a beer, and I was like, whatever. So I stopped by, had a beer, and it was just horrible. And it's a small little place. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to shame anyone. But I don't understand how they feel like they can keep going with that kind of the clientele. There was like 2 guys there, and there was like 4 or 5 dancers, and they're just sitting around and they're just waiting on guys.
Was it during the daytime?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They say the one dancer I did talk to said that it's usually busiest for them, and they want to work daytime. And so I don't.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. It's because there's less competition. They don't have to work as hard. And guys that are coming in during the day, they either want a lap dance and they want it done. And they only have a very small window to like chase dancers around. So they're in, they got a lap dance, they got a drink, and then they're done. They're gone. They have to go back to work or, on to family.
It makes sense. I've done that a few times
during the day. Yeah.
Have you had any kind of like negative experiences with any of your clients?
Oh yeah. I got hit with a chair once.
What the fuck?
In the strip club. As a dancer.
Like, was it a wrestling kind of thing?
No. If you guys want me to tell the story. So I tell the story on
Absolutely. Yes. Please.
Season 1, episode 24, if you guys want to go back and listen to it. But okay, so it is the changeover from day to night, and I'm a night dancer. And I'm wearing one of my favorite outfits, and I'm prepared to go up on stage. And I've had a couple of drinks before I get up on stage. I'm having a good time. I have like a Moscow Mule, in the copper cups and stuff. I get up on stage. I'm on stage 3. Stage 1 picks the music. Stage 2 is over by the DJ booth. And stage 3 is like in the middle. It's like a triangle. And the stages are above the customer. So when you sit down at a stage, you're looking up at the dancer, and I'm getting ready to dance, and it's like Fleetwood Mac. So it's like, oh my goodness, this is the song I have to dance to. Fine, whatever. And I'm ready. I'm like, I got this. There's a guy sitting at my stage. Okay, at least there's one person there that at least I'm not dancing for myself. So I'm in my one-piece outfit. I'm all rip-roaring, ready to go. And I'm dancing to the song. And this guy is jamming out. He's doing air drums to Fleetwood Mac. He's a big, burly white guy with like the blonde hair that's pulled back. And he is just going to town. He doesn't care that he's sitting on my stage. He doesn't care that I'm dancing. Nothing. Song number 2 comes on. Okay, well, I want to make at least $2 off this guy. I'm in here. He's sitting on my stage. He's wasting my time. Give me $2. So I get down. I'm down on my knees, smiling. I go, hi, how's it going? He reaches up. He grabs me by my hair. He pulls me down to the lip of the bar that's around the stage. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I pull my head back up. He reaches it, grabs my hair, pulls me back down to the stage. I was like, this motherfucker, how dare you put your hands on me? So I take the palm of my hand and I take it and I hit him in the ear as hard as over and over again. I can't even see him. I just hit him as hard as he can. He lets me go. I get up. I start yammering my mouth. I'm like, motherfucker, why the fuck did you just do that to me? I grab my drink. I get off stage. You can hear me over the music. That's how loud I get. And this guy, I tell you, I'm walking like tits out past stage 2, and I turn my head over my shoulder, and this guy's running at me. I throw my drink at him. He I run and I jump over the lap dance couches. So we don't really have a private room. We just have couches out in the middle of nowhere. And this guy throws a chair down on top of me. There was a customer that was next to me. He pushed the stripper out of the way, got caught in the head. My forearms got bruised. The doorman, the DJ, the bouncer, none of those guys stopped this guy. That guy threw 3 chairs that night. They did not call the cops because he was sleeping with the bartender. And this guy's name was Tarzan. I was so fucking pissed.
He allowed back the next night?
I only saw him the one night and I was so mad that happened. I took the night off. I was like, I'm going home.
Well, some follow-ups. So yeah, the bartender, and I actually have a strip club story because I don't know if I ever tell you guys I DJed one time in a strip club. I'll tell a little later after I ask these questions. But so the doorman, the bartender, nobody came to assist you with this, and this is in Denver.
Yeah.
Because usually when the first incident, like you touch a girl in most clubs in Florida, you touch a girl and she just starts doing the pointing thing. There'll be 3, 4, 5 bouncers kicking the guy out. I thought you were going to say maybe he was with the manager. Say again?
How many times has that happened to you? She starts pointing at you.
No, I mean, like I said, I have a interesting relationship with strip clubs. We used to go when me and my guys from the Air Force used to have like a no lap dance policy because as a DJ, I'd always like, they're cutting the song short, right, guys? Because you listen to a song and like this song, I know how long this song is because when I was DJing in nightclubs, I used to be like, this song is 3.5 minutes. The DJ to get in and out of it, I'm usually playing only about 2.5 minutes of the song. I'm like, dude, don't play 1 minute and 45 minutes of song. Until the one night where I actually worked at a strip club that I learned, how everything's supposed to go. Like you can't play the whole song. The girls want, it's all about.
Oh man, I love a DJ that knows how to make the songs just move into another so I can get off the stage. Or if the money is flowing, they make sure that they throw in just an extra song to make sure that all of the money is getting out of the guy's pockets. It's a craft in itself.
Right.
And that's a good question. That's a good question. Oh, Sainte, you're still telling your story.
No, go ahead. Go. What were we going to ask? I'll tell the story after.
No, I mean, that's a good question. That came up when you're talking about draining the money from a guy's pocket. How long will you work a guy? Like, I'm sure there's been times where like you were working, you thought you had a lead, you thought he was there, and then boom, he's gone, and you wasted what, hour, 2 hours? I don't know how long.
I might not even waste that. I'll sit down with a guy, tell a couple of jokes, see where it goes. First step is to buy a dancer a drink. If you're not going to buy me a drink, then I don't ask for lap dances. I don't ask for drinks. I'll sit down, have a conversation, look you in the eye. And then if the bartender or the waitress comes by and you don't offer me a drink, I'm probably going to move on. It's a conversation starter. So there's different tactics. There's different ways that girls make money, and mine's more jokes and eye contact. It's the slow game. So sometimes it's if a guy comes up and tips me, I'm going to definitely come over and say thank you. I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm going to touch everybody on the back as I'm passing them. There's a lot of different things that I do. Sometimes I'll do like back massages on people, just really try to get like people interested in what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll make a really loud joke and hopefully somebody else will hear.
That's the bait. You're setting the bait out there.
That is the bait.
I've seen every single one of those techniques multiple times. And okay,
good,
so
yeah.
Hold on, real quick. I'll just explain my experience, and Pixie, please, at any point chime in. I don't know if you guys have been to the Cocoa Beach Cape Canaveral area. I'm talking, I don't know, Pixie. Have you ever been to Florida, Pixie?
I've been to Florida once, and it was not pleasant.
Oh, so that sounds like a story in itself.
But in that area, that little strip next to Patrick Air Force Base, there's literally 9 strip clubs up and down this strip from like Cocoa Beach up to Cape Canaveral, which is kind of weird. When I got there, I was stationed in the Air Force at the time, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's kind of weird. Like, why are there so many strip clubs in this one area? Till one night, okay, actually, let me backtrack a bit. I also had 2 sergeants, who one was my direct supervisor, who anything we had to do, it had to be at a strip club. He's like, Airman Sainte, I'm getting all the airmen together. We're going to talk about, what we're going to do for this next base exercise. Let's meet up at one of the clubs. He was just, addicted to strip clubs. It was like, all right, all right, Sergeant Smith, I'll keep the name hidden, but yeah, so it got to a point where we would frequent most of these strip clubs. What we learned was, if you know anything about, I don't know if you know about the geography of Florida, you have Orlando right in the center, and then you have Tampa, which I live in Tampa now. Mike, you're in Tampa, for work reasons, but Tampa has, it's out of Tampa and Portland. Tampa and Portland, Oregon have the most strip club and strippers per square mile than anywhere else in the country. I think that's still a fact. I know where in Tampa, I haven't been to any out here, but I know where all the strip clubs and stuff are. And so what they would do is there was just a big rotation. And if there was a big convention in Orlando, I don't know, Disney convention or whatever, that's where all the strippers would be. But when there wasn't, they would just make a rotation from Tampa, Orlando to the East Coast where Cocoa Beach is. And that's the reason why there were so many strip clubs there for people to frequent. So I guess one of my questions, is that something you would do in the Denver area? I've visited Denver a few times, Denver, Colorado Springs. There's a lot of Air Force personnel out in that area. I don't know. Were you just in the Denver area?
Circuit girl. No, I didn't jump from club to club. I was basically at one kind of club at one time. I know a lot of girls do that, especially the reason why girls do that. I'm going to give away your secrets, ladies, that you're listening to this show. Please. All 3 of you.
Damn, that's really accurate. That's not good.
It's the same on my show. Don't worry about it, guys. The reason why they do that is because the new girl money, if you can say that you're a new girl there at the club, or if a guy is frequenting a club so often and a girl comes in and he hasn't seen her before, he's going to spend so much more money on her than if she's there every single night. And if it's Air Force Base or something that's right next to the strip club, these guys know if that's a new girl or not because they've seen them over and over again. Right. So, yeah.
So a coworker whose mom owned a strip club. He was telling me that they used to run an amateur night because we're in kind of a smaller town. They used to run an amateur night so that the off-duty dancers from down in West Palm, which is a bigger market, would come up and dance for amateur night at his club. Because hey, look, it's a girl out of the crowd and it's somebody I haven't seen before, and they would just make so much money on those nights.
Oh yeah,
just a random Tuesday night, just because hey, it's someone we haven't seen before. It's an amateur. Yeah, I don't know. Amateur doesn't swing around the pole like that. But okay.
Go ahead, Saint. I know you were saying something. Oh, you're muted, buddy.
But the second part of that, so one night had to come in a DJ. I don't know what happened, but I was a DJ, started out, doing the typical stuff, weddings, corporate gigs, holiday parties, DJing in clubs. But one night, the DJ at one of the strip clubs in Cocoa Beach was sick. And, I'd always put myself out there. Hey, if anybody needs a DJ, don't be afraid to contact me. So they contact, hey, come in here. We can use you. Do you got enough music? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hey, basically the girls will tell you what they want to hear. They were giving me $50, couple of drinks. But here's the part I found real interesting. At the end of the night, it's the girls are supposed to tip you out at the end of the night. And that's how you really make your money. Because I'm like $50. Like, I'm not going to come work 4 hours and for $50, like now worth my time. He's like, no. All the girls at the end of the night, they come out and they tip you out. And that's how you get paid. And he's like, on a good night, you'll end up making, if each girl gives you, whatever, $20-$30, you'll make good money. The only part I heard is one of the bouncers like, hey man, make sure before the night's over, you find all the girls. The girls, they're gonna skip out on you. This is what I learned. This is why I haven't been back again. Cause it's like, by the end of the night. And of course, this is my first time doing it. I don't really have experience. So, you get those guys with the real deep bass next to the stage. I was just, I kind of winged it. I had a list and I was like, okay, next up is, and I was trying to do my best stripper club DJ impression. I didn't think I did a bad job. I just played what they wanted to play. But do I tell you, I was chasing girls like, yo, what's her name? Like, I was trying to remember her name. Like, yeah. So it's like, I didn't make that much. And
lies. It's a lie. It's a lie.
I pretty much figured that out like within the first couple of minutes at the end of the night. I was walking out with a couple $100, not anywhere what I would thought I was going to make, but that I found interesting. I mean, on the DJ side of things, like basically it's like, yeah, man, you got to be out there. You got to be, they're hustling you and, you got to be like, nah, I want my money. I ain't playing around. But I found that real interesting. So Pixie, all the places you work, is that pretty much standard how I work with the DJs?
In my home strip club, we tip 20%. Like, every time. And yeah, you do have to chase them because as a used to reformed drunken dancer, I used to tip and run. I would just be like, I'm out of here. I'm not saying that you guys should do that, but it happens. So strippers, as soon as they can dip out the door, especially if it's slow, usually, even we have on a typical Friday night, we have about 30, maybe 25 to 30 girls on a Friday night. So that's still really good money for those of you who can do math. Just bare minimum 20%. So we tip 20 and then 10 and 10. So 10 to the door and then 10 to the bar. And then $2 for the cleaning crew because my boss was a cheapskate. He was pocketing that money.
Wow. But man, 20%. I was like, I was thinking, I was told it was going to be like $20-$30 a dance. And I was like, I can't remember. This was way back. Oh, geez, this is what.
Well, some girls, they don't hustle, but who's doing lap dances. Who. You can see it. And especially if they're coming up and asking you, hey, can you play this special song? Yeah, I can. If you have your regular over there that's going to get a lap dance from you, have him tip me $20. Grease the wheels a little bit, and I'll play it for you whenever you want. And some girls understand the tipping mechanism because if you tip your DJ really well.
Yeah, so have her, I lost her.
Oh, Pixie, your audio dropped out.
We were all sitting here wondering if it was us.
Yeah.
I'm in a hotel. I'm in that hotel life, so I thought it was me, but then I heard you guys. All right. Oh, there it goes.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Yeah. Stupid fucking Behringer. I tell you, I'm going to throw it out the window with my fucking laptop. Just gone, I tell you.
I don't even remember where we were. Anyone remember what we were talking about? We picked back up. No, whatever.
She's giving away 40% of her money at least every time she worked.
More than 40%, right? 40% plus $2.
Yeah, plus $2. Yeah, and that was the crazy thing is that basically I would do a lap dance to make sure that I had enough money to pay the DJ. And DJs know when it's a slow night. They understand when it's a slow night. But if it's a Friday night and you're talking to people, you're hustling hard because you want that money for yourself. But everybody knows what you're doing in the club. Most clubs have cameras in them, so.
Right. Well, and also the fact that I was a brand new DJ, so I'd imagine people are trying to take advantage. But no, go ahead, Jeremy.
So if the girls weren't tipping out the DJ, would the DJs, if it was a regular DJ, because Nate was over there for night, but the regular DJ, I assume all of a sudden the songs you want wouldn't be available because someone else had them.
Yeah,
that type of retaliation.
I've danced to the Mighty Mouse theme song. So yeah, DJs, if you're not greasing the wheels with the DJ, he's gonna play you some fucked up shit, or he's gonna give your special song to somebody else. You're gonna get terrible music all night, or he'll put you up with really pretty dancers. And then you won't make any money unless you're hustling. And so there's a lot of ways that DJs can fuck with your money. Just like there's a lot of ways the bartender can fuck with your money. But that's why you tip, and that's why you tip well. That way everybody knows, what's going on.
Well, just when you say that right there, I'm just curious because you said really pretty dancers. Like what would classify as that? Because I mean, obviously clientele have different preferences. Right. And right. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. You're obviously pretty yourself. You knew that you were a dancer. So like what classifies really pretty to you? Like what kind of person is that goes up and they would put up on stage? So
when I say really pretty dancers, they're usually like a 9 or a 10 in the club. They got like the platinum blonde hair. They got the nails done. Their outfits like on point. I'm more like a 6, maybe a 7. And that's me being me. I'm funny. That there's definitely a lot of girls, there's a hierarchy. There's like the pretty hot, like mean girl. There's also sometimes the really slutty one is the one that's making all the money. So there's different levels of different kind of dancers in the club, and you just kind of have to know where you fit. Now I'm really good at like managing multiple groups of larger like groups of guys. So I'm real good at that. By myself, I'm fantastic. But sometimes as a 6, you kind of need a 7 or an 8 to help you wrangle people. And it's always good to run in different packs. If you're the one girl who's like, I don't make friends at the strip club. I'm just here to make money. She's making money, but everybody absolutely hates her.
Office politics.
Office politics. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like high school in there. It's terrible.
Speaking of like slutty ones, how many of the clubs you worked in had really bad stuff? I don't want to say bad stuff. It's stuff that goes on at some clubs. Listen, I've had stuff go on at some clubs. Jeremy, he's too pure and virgin and everything. He's not anything like that. But Sainte, I'm sure you've been in clubs where things have gone on.
You mean me personally or things I know have gone on?
Either or both.
Me personally, no. Like I said, for a while, we used to go. Again, it was a time like a 2-3 year period where I was in strip clubs way too much time, only because we were surrounded by like, instead of just going to your, local dive bar, let's go to this dive strip club. So we're in strip clubs every day. Learned a lot. You can learn a lot by going to strip clubs. You learn a lot about people and about, interactions with stuff. Here's another story I'll give you. For example, was this in Vegas or was this I think this was in Vegas. We're a strip club with my boy. So we're in Vegas. We're black guy, my friend Jason, he's another black guy. So we come out and we're dressed head to toe. He had just bought a new suit. I went out, bought a new suit, everything looking, this is back in like, I don't know, 05, 06, thinking we're looking fly going in there, dressed, smelling good, got the good cologne, everything going on. Going to a strip club, not a single dancer will come up and talk to us, right? Just walking around, we go to the bar, both get, drinks of Hennessy, because at the time we drink nothing but Hennessy. We got the money, whatever. No girls would come and talk to us, sitting around just avoiding us like the plague. So we finally stopped and we flagged just a girl down because we're just like, what's going on or whatever. And the girl comes to talk to us like, hey, how's it going? Like, you guys left dance? Like, nah, but we're throwing money at the stage and doing all that. And then we're like, hey, what's going on? Like every single girl comes to us and they run away from us like, we're, have the plague or something. And she goes, well, you guys, black dudes dressed in suits. He goes, half the girls just want to make sure you're not pimps, because he goes, a lot of pimps walk through here, and they're like, they don't want to do this. Like, either they're pimps in here watching them right now, or they just don't want to be bothered with, a pimp coming in here trying to, get another girl for a stable. So that's something we were completely oblivious to that. But going to a strip club, I was like, I guess that is something that if you're here to work, you'd have to think about. And, at first we were like, is this a racist thing? It was like, no, just, it's like, they just don't want to deal with it, because most girls are either they're pimps here, which he goes, some girls, he's like, look around. And we looked around, it's like, oh yeah, that dude might be a pimp over there. Or they're just like, they just don't want to deal with a pimp, because the pimp's not spending any money. All he's doing is trying to, hey, girl, let's come here and talk and blah, 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 and basically wasting her time. So that's something you never thought about. But me, no.
A lot of pimps will tip you your own money as well. So sometimes that's also what you're not seeing. Like if you see a guy come up, throw some money, sometimes it's him tipping one of his girls to make sure that she looks like she's very popular. And a lot of the girls are probably not knowing who you are, dressed up really nicely. You would not have been my target in the strip club. I like them more like Jeremy. Jeremy gets up a little taller. He's like, yeah.
That means I'm a mark. Yeah.
Basically.
I like them. I like them blue collared. I like them in just jeans and a t-shirt. I like them inconspicuous. Maybe somebody who's not going to showboat a lot. I like a nice customer that I can sit down and have a chat with. So having a guy come into the club and he's way too flashy. In my club, the girls would have ran you over and just like beat you down and made sure that you were theirs. So we don't get a lot of pimps in my club. It was very few and far between. We got a lot more drug dealers than pimps.
Oh yeah, that too. True. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was Vegas. Yeah, in the Cocoa Beach area, I don't really think there was that, because, like I said, it was a lot of airmen, a lot of military guys going into almost all the clubs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'd seen, no offense, a lot of blue collar looking airmen who, or guys who just got, it might be their first duty station, and they're just dropping money in the club. Like, hey, buddy,
oh man,
spending too much of that paycheck.
You can almost smell it on them. You can just like, yes, this is my ticket out of here. I see a lot of strippers get married. Like it's week 3 of their relationship, and she's got a ring on. She's already out of the club.
Seen that happen too.
Yeah.
So how many names would you have on a given night? You'd have your stage name. Would you have a fake real name that you would give to guys?
I never gave my real name out. It was all fake. It was all Pixie. I've only had 2 dancer names in my 23 years as a dancer. And it was Pixie and Quinn, like the mighty Quinn. And that was it. I've been Pixie for this whole time.
My name's Cindy, just, to chat a guy up or not. Or
right. There's always saying like a stripper has 3 names: her stage name, her real name, and the fake name she gives guys who always like, what's your real name? Because we used to do that also.
And a fake number. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always told people that I'm just the fantasy. You don't need to know my real name. Just because I'm not going home with you, I'm not going to date you, I'm definitely not going to fuck you. So all you're going to get from me is my name and then my time, because you're paying me. I always made sure it was like, this is a fantasy. You come here for the drinks and the jokes and my entertainment, and that's it. But there were a lot of girls that would give out fake names and fake phone numbers and different things like that.
In regards to
phone number seems a little dangerous. They come back the next time and like, hey, that number didn't work.
I changed my phone number. I lost my phone. Oh, that was my phone number from my relationship. I'm sorry. We were in a big breakup. There's all kinds of things. Girls could give you stories.
Jeremy, does that sound familiar?
No, I've never asked for a number, but I think
it's like the guys that go in there assume because you just look like a mark and a sucker. It's like, full disclosure, I've again in the Cocoa Beach area because we were there all the time, and we'd actually sometimes see some strippers that we knew. We'd be at like a house party and we'd see them there, like, hey, it's kind of a weird, awkward moment. They're like, I understand that's work and this is just your downtime, whatever. But full disclosure, we've gone home. We've gone to after parties and homes with strippers and had, good times. I'll leave it at that. But, we've had gone to clubs where guys are like, yo, do you understand this is a job? Treat her like she's just at her job. Would you go to Burger King, be asking the chick like, hey, no. So just treat everything like a job. But, like I said, I've gotten out that point in my life. I got hip to the strip club glam a lot. So, but yeah, those sucker moments is just like, the worst.
Oh,
young guys too. So, and older guys too. I had a couple of older sergeants, but
and Mike's older now. So yeah, older guys too.
I told you guys about that time I went to the club when I was probably like 18 and I borrowed my friend's Amex just to see what happened in the back room. No. So
I'm shaking my head. I'm not saying no.
No, yeah, I'm just shaking my head. Like,
oh, you've heard
I don't know this. I don't know the story, but I'm also just shaking my head. Like,
well, we were curious, and so I borrowed his Amex, and it was like $700. That by the time it was all said and done, it all went on his Amex, and got a hand job in the back room. What am I gonna do? So, my question that goes back.
$100 for that.
That was a lot of fucking money, right? I was stupid. It wasn't my money, and I think I paid it back. But with something like that, say I'm not talking about hand job. I'm not saying you did hand jobs, but whatever. But how much of that money, like just going in the back room with like a client?
Hold on, we got to separate those two statements there.
Sorry. But no,
you're like,
because
so how much money was from this? And I'm like, whoa.
All right. So listen, you can go to like a club and get they claim 30 minutes or something of songs or whatnot, and it's just whatever you and a dancer in the back room, and that's
which is like 3 songs,
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, how much of that non-sexual stuff? How much of that money actually goes to you? How much do you actually see, or how much goes to the club and you don't?
I get all of my money up front from my club, and then I tip out. So okay. A dancer is at my club. A dancer is in charge of her own money. And then it's up to the doorman, the DJ, and the bar to chase the strippers down to get their part of the money. There are clubs that.
What about the clubs themselves?
There are clubs that get money up ahead. There are clubs that as soon as you walk in the door, you pay to be there. And that was kind of one of those Las Vegas things that went across the board, that a lot of the. Like my big clubs would be small clubs in Las Vegas. So they really wouldn't be very big clubs. And they kind of got into that mindset where they're going to charge the dancers to be there. And a lot of us didn't like that. So a lot of us stick to the smaller clubs. So we're not getting charged up front. And it's a lot of work of the money. But for me, I like to be in charge of my own money.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Question on that. And I don't know if you've seen a change in the industry, but did you say, were you recently retired, or how many, I mean, if you feel comfortable saying, like, how many years have you been out of the business now?
So I stopped dancing in September, not last year, but the year before. I danced in September the year before as we were coming back from the situation that was going on. Gotcha. And yeah, it was, I was like, okay, I'm old. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. The dancers are young and dumb, and I just can't handle that mentality.
Gotcha. And what's the biggest difference? Like, for example, just one example that came into my head, like bottle service and that kind of deal, or because before you used to go in, I remember my first experience in some of the all nude full contact clubs, it used to be a 2-drink minimum, and the drinks usually were like 2 non-alcoholic, paying like $5-6 for like a Coke or a Sprite. But I noticed, I think the last time I went, which of course it was pre-COVID, 2016, 17, there was a big emphasis on trying to push bottle service and tables. Like, hey guys, if you guys want to sit here, well, this is, if people don't know what bottle service is, basically when they sell you a bottle of Grey Goose vodka that costs them $50 and they'll upsell it to you for like $400, $500, sometimes $1,000, $2,000 on like New Year's or a big type of night. So Pixie, did you see those kind of changes happen in the industry from when you first started?
So there was a lot of industry changes. So I started out in an all new nude juice bar. When I first started, it was one stage. It was super dark, super seedy with the high back chairs and the creepy men, right? So that's how I started. Everybody looked like they walked out of a ZZ Top commercial. So they were all super tall, big fake boobs and no ass. And now I'm a little opposite of that. I'm super short. Big boobs, no ass. I earned my booty. So a lot of things changed. Like in 10 years, more than 10 years ago, you could smoke in the bar. Now you can't smoke in the bar. So that was a big change. The TikTok generation, that's a whole different change. There's a lot of things that happened through my career that I can't really explain to people unless I deep dive into it. But there was a lot of stuff, things that happened. And a lot of it is, it's very interesting to see like the evolution of dancers. Now everybody's got big booties and no boobs. So it's like, wait, what? And my club was it's always been a very diverse club because, we're not a big club and we like to have, as long as you look good, you're going to be up on stage. You're going to get up there. Yeah, and you're going to dance. It doesn't matter who you are. We even had older dancers. So my club is one of those clubs where the dancers go to die. That's where you start and that's where you end.
I mean, well, that's a good point. Like, I mean, are you still like going to clubs? Like, and do you? No, you don't. Not in a work sense, but do you see like the environments? And
yeah, I went 2 weeks ago for my friend's 30th birthday. Callie, she was on my podcast. Season 2, and I went in to see her and talk to everybody, and I knew like 3 of the dancers, and that was it. And it was really sad that I didn't know anybody, and I was appalled by the outfits the girls were wearing, and I was like, these girls don't even know how to make money. I was sad. It was sad. It was really, because it was a Friday night and you would expect there was people in there, but there was nobody sitting with any customers and there was nobody sitting up at the stages. I was like, what are you guys doing? I have one stripper. I was hanging out with my buddy. We're talking to each other and she's got a stripper behind her who's just like a lurker, just like sitting right behind her. And the customer buys me and her a drink and he goes, oh, I guess, do you want a drink too? Like, oh, there's somebody there kind of thing. And she didn't say thank you. She didn't look the guy in the eye. I don't even think she knew the guy's name. I was like, this girl sucks. And she was wearing a terrible outfit for her body. We're not body shaming, but some outfits are better on different dancers because the big trend right now is like the slingshot one pieces, which I absolutely love. But this girl, she had, it was too much pulled up in the front. And she didn't have the proper up top boobs to keep it in. So it was really tight. I swear it was probably a little too small for her, but it was not doing her any favors. And I doubt that her hoo-ha could have breathed. Just saying.
She looked like Borat.
Not that bad. Not that bad. I have seen a lot of pubic hair, but not that bad in the strip club.
I will say, for my personal taste, I have like the transition from big, huge, silicone breasted fake boobs to more going to the. But then now even the booty's kind of gone. I'd say probably too far, because now everyone has this, oversized, outrageous butts. Before it was getting to a good spot, but now it's kind of gone to the, I think too many Brazilian butt lifts going on. So from the last time, like I said, probably 2017.
You need to come more mainland and see more of the natural girls. It's not as prevalent, in the smaller clubs, like especially here in Colorado. It's not as bad. There's still a couple, one or two, and it depends on which club you go to.
Well, Saint, you got that guy down in Miami that was, injecting cement or whatever into the girls' asses.
Yeah.
No, wait, it was Fix-A-Flat. That's what he was doing. That's crazy.
Fix-A-Flat.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Florida. But just to switch gears, I don't want to take over from Mike, but what got you interested in doing podcasting about this, about your former career?
Well, I was dancing and I was like, you know what? A lot of these girls have amazing stories. And I had started talking to girls. I bought a web page because I pulled everybody. I was like, what do you think is a good name for a podcast? What do you think is a good name for a stripper podcast? And they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good name. And then every single girl that I asked to be on my podcast back then said, oh yeah, I'll be on there. And now that I'm a podcaster, they won't come on. So I got a phone call from Mr. J, and he says, hey, would you like to do a podcast about toys and action figures? And I said, funny story. Would you like to do a podcast about strippers? So we actually started 2 podcasts at exactly the same time. And one of those is just recorded episodes that have never been released. And the other one is a successful podcast.
You say toys and action, you mean like G.I. Joe's, Transformers, actual like collectibles and stuff? Or
yes.
Alf?
Alf. Nice.
Yes. Me and Mr. J might be huge nerds. Yeah, stripper nerds. So when he used to dance, he had a costume where he looked like Urkel. So... So yeah, we did a whole podcast on toys and it never got off the ground. And there's at least a whole year of episodes that will probably never be released. Don't tell him that, because I tell him that all the time.
You got to release it. It's recorded. It's there for someone to listen to.
Like we've recorded multiple episodes, multiple re-release of episode 1. And it's like, just let it go. Just edit it and just let it go. And he just won't. Like everything behind me. Hold on. My sound's probably going to go out. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are all Magic the Gathering cards.
Wow. That's super nerd. I mean, like I have... If you look behind me, I've got like Thor.
You got all of the expensive toys and then Funko Pops. Oh gosh. Oh, hold on. All right. Here we go. I'll be right back.
What's she gonna get? We're gonna take guesses.
Hey, I get you trapped in the nerd off. God damn it.
No, but it's good.
What's your guess?
No, what's I guess? What did she say? We're talking about Funko Pops, and then she said, "Oh, hold on." She ran running.
Magic the Gathering cards. I was gonna say Harry Potter.
It says Iron Giant.
So what do we got?
Iron Giant.
Actually, I'd probably collect that. That's actually pretty cool.
It's cool. It's super cool. Let's see what else. I got like all of the toys.
But that's cool because people like revere the Iron Giant now. It's like people think of it as like a classic now. He-Man.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, nice. Bearcat. I am revealing my inner nerd there too. But Iron Giant.
Star Wars. I got all kinds of stuff.
I think she wants to do. I think she wants to do her action figure podcast now.
So I used to own a toy store a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah. I'm super nerdy. You guys have no idea. I'm like totally nerdy. I worked in a card shop as well. I have a huge collection of My Little Ponies. I'm super
this was
nerdy.
All while you were dancing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did a lot of collecting in my younger years. The most expensive action figure I currently have is the Hasbro Lab Sentinel from
big guy.
From the X-Men. Yeah,
X-Men. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And he's like he's like a 3 foot tall.
Yeah. Hasbro Labs, Sainte, you're familiar with them, right? They kind of like poll people almost on like what they want to see, and then they put this awesome thing out that's like limited edition.
Right.
I know they put out some other cool stuff. I think some Transformers. They had a Unicron. Yeah, there we go.
Unicron is fucking huge. I wish I would have gone on that because it's worth like $1,500 now. Yeah. Like $2,000 almost.
I'm just gonna keep sitting on my Beanie Babies. I'll be good one day.
I got a few comic books back here, but man. So actually, back to that. So who do you find are your biggest podcast listeners? Is it more people in the industry, or is it more well, obviously, or is it just like random guys trying to find out more stories about the clubs and the nightlife entertainment?
Most of my followers are podcasters. They're men anywhere from ages 25 to 55. We get a sprinkling of females that are listening. It's very few and far between, but most of them are people who have been in a strip club. They remember the life. They enjoy tipping beautiful people. Because we just have a whole bunch of like awesome stories. People just kind of like, oh, I'll never go into a strip club. But now that you've talked about it, I like where you're going with this, but I still won't go in. So.
And how are you guys gauging it in regards to like being successful? Are you monetized now? Are you able to like make a halfway good money at all from it? Nothing.
I absolutely hate commercials. I decided in the beginning that if we were going to do commercials, it was going to be for stuff that we liked. And so I don't do commercials. I did sign up with Ninja Buzz, and it's one of those kind of sites where you can pay to have your commercial put onto my podcast. But I just finally filled out like all of the information. And we did get in touch with, a company called Screw Magazine.
Oh, yes. I saw you post about that. I saw you post in one of the forums of Facebook because we're in one of the podcast groups. But you put like, hey, has anyone heard of this? Like they reached out to me.
I just want to make sure. That it's on the up and up before I go out there and, sign some sort of shady contract with somebody that I don't know on the internet. Because I don't know. Sometimes it's weird. Like I want to search the phone number and make sure like this guy is on the up and up. I want to make sure like I'm not getting catfished because he's all like, here's what he says. He said, we're changing our format from porn to adult general audience, so no porn, to become Screw Network, which enabled us to reach Roku users. So they would like to incorporate more podcasts like mine and totally separate audiences from the web. We can monetize your content in several ways, including subscriptions. None of this costs you anything, by the way. So for me, I'm kind of like an abused animal. I'm like, free? Yes,
good to be
maybe
true.
No, don't do it. So I don't ever want to jump into things without knowing what's going on, because there's been so many shady people online, and I just kind of worry that somebody's like trying to bait me into something, and I don't want to lose. I own basically 100% of the podcast. Well, me and Mr. J, we own everything that we put out. And that's kind of scary when you bring somebody on as a partner, or what if they come in and tell me that, we can't talk stripper stuff? What if they come in and tell me that I have to do commercials on my podcast? What if they make me change my format of my podcast? This all scares me. I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, I want to ask a few more questions about the podcast, but like, I think we have to have you back on because you're way too entertaining and have all this stuff. No, but I mean, we keep discovering new folds and facets of you. Like, you're a total geek.
Mike,
you got the magic.
You just want to do this when she can see your background and your normal.
I mean, that's true, but
Well, at least I'm not a what is it? A Steelers fan? Is that what's going on there?
Ooh.
I saw that.
What's wrong with being a Steelers fan?
We're not all that dumb.
I know. Terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a Broncos Viking, so you can thrash me all for everything because no one of my teams are going to the Super Bowl.
The Steelers still have a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
Yes.
Whatever. It's going to be Green Bay and somebody else, so it's fine.
I can't believe it.
Green Bay Steelers, repeat of the 2011.
This has been real fun, guys.
Well, no, I mean, it has been fun, and I'm so glad to have you. Like I told these guys, it was real short notice, but we got it done. But I do want you to like speak a little bit, just give people like kind of a commercial for your podcast. Like what do you guys talk about? Like, why should they come listen to Next on Stage One?
Called a plug. Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
All right.
And plug.
You ready, guys? All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, up your beers, up your dollars, and I want you to join me, my friend, Mr. J, as we talk about strippers, drama, and terrible stories of the adult entertainment nightlife. It's very so much fun. It's like talking to your friends and listening to conversations in the club. So why don't you join me next on Stage One? Yeah, they're practicing.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun. It really is. We're on, we've got video now on YouTube. We are just growing exponentially. I'm crazy. I'm everywhere.
All right.
He's crying. Done. Can't take it anymore. So
I've just been up a long time today.
Where can people find you on social media? Are you at the same handle all over the place?
Yes. Next on Stage One, Mr. Jones, that which is storage.
Wait, hang on, Pixie. Is it? I think you're breaking up. Okay.
I'm about to say she's breaking up at the worst time.
We need a signal so that we can all know it's not us.
Right. I know, right? Like, we need to be like,
we're just going to hold up our hands.
It's still coming in kind of all like Tron-like. Yeah, we need to do hand signals with each other to make sure, like, hey, you can hear me fine, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Pixie?
I can hear you guys. You just can't hear me.
Okay, well.
So much editing.
You there?
I guess I'll do an outro. So, Pixie and Mr. J, next on Stage One. Are you guys done with season 3? Are you going to season 4 or in the middle of season 3?
Hold on, you can't hear me.
Well, actually, we can hear you.
Well, we can hear you just softly right now.
She's on a different mic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I understand. I'm good.
Throw the Behringer out the window.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a piece of shit. Jeez.
It really is. Testing.
What's the hand signal we're going to be doing? I like the finger on the nose. That's pretty.
I'm not doing that. I'm not
pat your head and rub your belly.
I just want to finish the interview. God darn it. Of course.
Most of our interviews want to get done with us very quickly.
Right.
Oh, it's funny.
Not reading my microphone. I'm going to throw it out the window.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking swears to Baron. Fucker.
They have more technical problems than you two.
Hey.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
There you are.
Here it is. Okay. Stupid piece of crap. Okay. So you can catch me on Instagram, which is Next on Stage One, but it has underscore lines to it. Twitter is where I shine. like a social media menace is what I am. And that's Next on Stage One. And you can know it's me because it'll say Pixie and it'll have my face to it. But the podcast is available everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I made sure that I put it everywhere that was possible. Yeah.
Same. See? Great minds think alike, right, Sainte?
Like, fucking put it everywhere. We're on Good Pods. We're on Podchaser. Everywhere. Just kind of Google us because I Google myself all of the time.
Yes,
that's what
me
she
too.
said.
That's what she said.
All right, Pixie. Like I said, I'm definitely going to have to send you a Calendly invite because I want you back because this was fun, and we'll do this another time.
So I have more questions now. Just thinking about stuff.
Right.
I know.
A little more research next time.
Yeah.
Have fun editing this podcast, whichever one of you, Mike, Jeremy, or Sainte.
Oh no, I don't do anything.
Whoever is doing the editing.
I think I can get through it, but we'll see what happens. It'll be fun.
All right, everyone go listen to Pixie Next and Mr. J on Next on Stage One, everywhere you can find your podcast. And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with our C block. I want to thank Pixie for coming on our show. And you've been listening to Usual Saints. We'll be right back.
Thanks, guys. Hey guys, I'm Pixie from Next on Stage One podcast, and you're listening to The Usual Saints.
With Pixie, and depending on the editing, we had a lot of technical errors. There are a few different parts. Sainte, sometimes his internet is a little jittery. Jeremy didn't really talk much, so you didn't really hear. I didn't hear any technical things from you. But Pixie had a lot of technical things. What did she say? The Behringer box? Apparently, it's a piece of shit. I don't have a Behringer box, but she was having a lot of problems with her mic. But when it sounded good. But then it would go out for like seemingly no reason. So I think we're gonna have all that cleared up. But she was a great interview, and I definitely want her back. I mean, not just because she's a stripper with those stories, which were amazing in themselves, but then she came out with her whole fucking huge nerd side. Me and her said Unicron at the same time because we knew what we were talking about, the Hasbro Labs thing. I literally wanted that thing too. But she seems like she was really fun, and she seems like she's got a lot more to say. And so definitely go check out her podcast, Next on Stage One with Mr. J and Pixie, wherever you can find a podcast. But what did you guys think of the interview?
That's good. Very entertaining. She had some good stories that obviously we don't have. Well, I don't have the same type of story, so that was good.
Right. I mean, besides the technical difficulties that we had, it was interesting to see how and this was a last minute interview, so knowing what to expect with saying she does a podcast based on her ex-life as a stripper. And we did a complete 180 where she's like, oh yeah, I used to own a toy store, and back here is an entire bookshelf filled of Magic the Gathering cards. Oh shit. We completely started nerding out for a bit. So that was very interesting.
Well, that, and she said she started dancing at 18 and she owned a toy store, which I'm assuming, she said was during the same time frame. I mean, wonder what those parents thought, if any of them ever figured it out. It'd be pretty damn funny. Didn't get a chance to ask. Maybe next time.
You could have them right next to each other in the same strip mall. You have the club, and then you have your toy store up there. And so nowadays,
when she first said they had a podcast about toys and stuff,
you thought they were going to say vibrators and things like that.
I thought that was going a different way.
That was funny.
No, I kind of got the vibe. I was like, yeah, she's probably talking about like action figures and shit like that. Like, I don't know.
Well, I want to thank Pixie again for coming on. But let's see, Jeremy, you want to cover a Chad moment of the week? Do you have one this week? That'd be wonderful.
No, I mean, I had to talk to my insurance company today, but there's no Chad moment. Just, hey, what the fuck do I have to do to get my insurance coverage back? But that's all.
Back? Like health insurance?
No, homeowners. They sold my mortgage, and the new company never did what they needed to do to tell my insurance company that, hey, we hold the mortgage now. So my insurance company never sent them a notice to, hey, you got to pay us now. So my money that was in escrow didn't go where it was supposed to go, and we got a notice, hey, you're lapsed, motherfucker. So
you got to be on top of that shit, man. You got to tell those motherfuckers.
We had a case where like the people, when we had our home built, because the house was a new build, whoever their builders used for the insurance, while there's something they need insurance while they're building it, and then insurance for the first month until we closed or whatever. And then we went and got our own insurance. But then those fuckers, when the next year came up, they tried to go and tell, our lender that they were still covered under the insurance, which they weren't. So then luckily our insurance broker was like, this happens all the time. These motherfuckers, they try to sneak that shit in, hoping you won't notice, but I'll take care of it. But apparently it's a very common thing. Like, you got to keep on top of it because these insurance motherfuckers are shady.
Yeah, my old house, I used to get hey, we need you to send this back. We got a change to make to your insurance. Well, that's funny. You're not the people that are fucking insuring my house. They just want me to send it back so they can take over the insurance. It's like,
right.
The spam call of mail at this point. Just fucking mail fraud, more or less, but whatever.
I don't know if I have any. I don't know if I have anything. I mean, I still have my Home Depot thing,
you haven't had to get your room changed, or your beer wasn't too warm at the restaurant, or
the room. I have a block on the no housekeeping, no services, so no one bothers me. It's real nice. It's like I basically live here. I mean, I put my dirty towels outside the door when they get too many. I call for new towels. They bring them up. I told them about a leak in the shower, but they haven't fixed it. So whatever. But no, here the hotel's fine. Restaurants, just some minor annoyances, nothing where I had to go above and beyond. The Home Depot thing, I don't know if you've been on when we talked about the Home Depot thing, Jeremy.
I did.
So Home Depot installed my slider doors in my front door. We talked about that. Yeah. We've had some issues, but Home Depot, long story short, Home Depot is saying, it's been more than a year since the install. You have to call PGT, who's the people who made the windows and the door. I call PGT, can't get a hold of anyone. Finally get a hold of someone. They tell me, if it's an install issue, it's Home Depot's problem. So basically this whole lifetime warranty they tell me I have is like fucking whatever. So I went and did my executive email carpet bomb. Thanks, Elliott Advocacy, for those email addresses. And that takes care of the problem. I'm just in the process of getting it fixed. So I just got a call today from the guy asking if he could stop by to take a look at things and, set things up exactly what needs to be fixed. And since Heather's at home, I asked Heather to reach out to him and schedule something and get that taken care of. So it's in process. I'll let you guys know when I have an update. But beyond that, no, not too many Chad things. Like we talked a little bit about during Pixie's interview. Went to a strip club today, had an Angry Orchard and left. But I wanted to bring that up during the interview, because you brought it up, Sainte. And again, I don't want to go too long, but I mean, if I'm going to have a beer, why wouldn't I want to go to a strip club and see, a chick wearing less or, nothing, where I could have a $5 beer, which is how much it's going to cost if it's I go get an Angry Orchard somewhere else. It's going to be $4.50 anyway. So, hey, why not? Because you were saying you had work meetings at strip clubs in Cocoa Beach. Of course, to me, that makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm not obsessed, but it makes sense if you're a guy and you like, or girl and you like that kind of thing.
Nah, it's there's no real reason for professionals. And during the day, most guys, it's just kind of sad. But I do get the daytime. Hey, the fact that she said that some girls actually do make money during daytime because they have guys. I got a set amount of time. I got to get in here, get my 20-minute lap dance and get the fuck out. It's kind of just dude, really? Is it that bad? Do you need a lap dance that bad on a Wednesday or a Thursday? It trying to get squeezing a lap dance in your lunch hour. It's like, come on, dude, I got a problem. But that's just me.
I had my off time after I went and had lunch. And I'm like, I wanted to stop by this place anyway, see what it's like. And it was real dingy and dirty, and it was horrible. And I will definitely not go back there. So, but I got the experience. What did I pay? $6 for the beer with the tip or whatever, and that was it. I was done for the day. So no real Chad moments for the week. Sorry to burst your bubble, Jeremy.
So speaking of some Chad moment, I see somebody else put it on the list, which surprised me because it's not about football or the Steelers. So Novak Djokovic, number one men's tennis player in the world, got kicked out of Australia this week. Tried to go down there for the Australian Open. Didn't get vaccinated. Tried to get a medical exemption, and they said, no, fuck you, get out. And kicked his ass out, and probably won't be able to play in the first major of the year because of it.
Did he get kicked out, or was he just not allowed in?
No,
he made it into the country. They stopped him in the country, and I think they kept him in a hotel for a day or two and then kicked his ass out. Because Australia doesn't play around with their travel restrictions, and they had real issues last year trying to have the tournament because they're pretty strict on their lockdowns as well, and it's been fairly successful for them at times. They've had issues, but I don't think to the same extent that some other countries have. But they I don't know that he tried to fake the original story I saw seemed to imply he was faking that he had the vaccine, but later on it was more he tried to put in for an exemption to getting the vaccine for medical reasons, and Australia said, no, we don't give a fuck, get out.
Yeah, he's just the tennis version of Aaron Rodgers. Fuck him. He doesn't need to be, going there. He get vaccinated. That he knows what they want. Go get vaccinated. Go play your fucking stupid little game where you hit the ball with the tennis racket, win or don't win, and then leave. Okay, like fuck you. And Australia basically said that, and now he's gone. Now he has his lawyers filing lawsuits and all that kind of bullshit. If I was Australia, I'd be giving him the fucking middle fingers and say, "Hey, buddy, go fuck yourself." And hopefully that's where they go, because I know. Even what's that other guy's name? Not Federer. Is it the other one? What's the other big one? Nadal. Yeah. He said today, he was like, yeah, I feel bad for the guy, but because, Nadal did the right thing. And
I think they're all tied. Either they're all tied or Novak's up by one now in terms of major titles in their career.
I think they all have 20,
19.
Right? Yeah.
19 or something. And so now, hey, shit, Federer's kind of not really a factor anymore. Nadal's still good, but Djokovic has been killing him lately. So, hey, he might have a chance to grab one real quick. Because really, there's nobody else challenging him.
Here's what I would say about those. Like, I guess we could talk about this because I guess Pixie didn't want to talk about any politics. But my deal is it works both ways. I completely respect if Djokovic doesn't want to put the vaccine because of whatever. Again, I am not against anyone saying they don't want to take the vaccine, but if you don't take it, then just deal with the repercussions of not taking it. It's like, what Australia is, how strict they are. And if their rules are, hey, if you want to be here, you need to be vaccinated. Guess what? I mean, I don't understand the lawsuit. I don't understand like trying to get a waiver and all that. It's like, we're hardcore about our COVID rules, and that should be it. I don't hold anything against him for not one. Again, I believe in science. I believe people should get vaccinated. I'm vaccinated, boosted. So both me and my wife are. But if you choose not to, okay. Not seeing people like, Australia, they're doing this and that. It's like, hey, it's their country. They're allowed to do it. What I find weird is these same people, when other countries have rules about athletic competition and all kinds of things, Muslim countries or China or whatever, people tend to bend over backwards. But now it's becoming a thing because Australia, if that's the rules, either respect the rules or don't play. That's simple. So
I agree.
I'm sure Nadal was just like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Of course he was. Shit, I don't really, I wanted to cut it short, but I mean, I feel like we had to just touch at least for a minute on each topic. Antonio Brown, mental health.
I don't think we have time to touch on all of them.
Not all of them, just a quick. No, there's two. Antonio Brown. So the text came out, and Bruce Arians is saying that they knew it. He was already on the injury report. This guy goes off, takes his shirt off, hops off the field. He obviously has mental health issues. I mean, I've known that after his whole Steelers debacle, and then the Raiders, and then the Pats, and now the Bucks. And so he was bound to collapse at some point. But I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? It's sad to see, but at the same time, it's like I expected it, and it happened.
I am one of these people, and as I get older, I find new things, but I found this out in my 20s, and I say this all the time, and I don't understand why people don't understand it. Both things, or three things, or four things can be true at the same time. Antonio Brown, yes, he's probably going through mental health issues. Yes. Also, that can be true. Also, is Antonio Brown an insecure asshole? Yes, that can be true too. It's like, it doesn't have to be either or, black or white. Both things can be true. And what also can be true is that Bruce Arians and the Bucks were lying about it, that they knew he was injured, and Bruce Arians, he was feeling himself in that press conference, and now he's probably going to have, there's probably going to be a players association, he's probably going to have to deal with that, with the way they handled it. But it could be true that Bruce Arians was lying. It could be true that Antonio Brown was going through a mental health issue, and it could be true that Antonio Brown is just an asshole who's hard to deal with. All three things can be true at the same time, and that's where I'm coming with in this situation. And I don't know why people are trying to make it so black and white, but I think that's what happened. You have an immature asshole who has mental health issues dealing with a coach and an organization who's lying about why they kicked him out of the game. I mean, if you think about it, he had incentives to be in the game. Like, I think he was only a touchdown away, a couple of yards, and a couple of receptions away from getting $1 million bonus.
Well, the most recent thing I read, and again, I don't know all the truth to it, is that before the game, probably a day or two before the game, he asked them to pay out his incentives or whatever of $2 million or whatever it was. And then during the game, he's not getting the catches that he thinks he should be getting. He was on the injury report. And so it's whatever. And then Arians allegedly made a cutting motion to him, we're going to cut you. You're fucking done or something like that. And then that's when Antonio hopped off the field. But
yeah, but I remember coming back from halftime, the reporter even mentioning that both Mike Evans and Antonio Brown were on a snap count for the week because they're both coming back after being gone for a while. So that wasn't unknown. At least the reporter knew it. I don't know why the receiver wouldn't know that he was only going to play so many snaps if he really got upset about his bonus, if that was what he was worried about.
No. But all right. Yeah, we'll leave the rest of the stuff for next week because we did a really long show. So, yeah, we did. But hey, it was fun. By
the time Sainte edited it, it'll be about 33 minutes.
Yeah, for real, it's only going to be like a 40-minute show, but it's and it's late, so we're just all tired. And I showed up like a couple of minutes late, so it's all going to feel like
hey man, 90 Day Fiance is important.
This motherfucker's watching his show. He's telling us he's watching his show. I thought he was putting his kids to bed or something. He has
at 11:30. What the fuck? My kids got school, but it was Station 11. Oh, and
I'm still not even caught up on that. You're watching Station 11. You can wait till after
it's over. It's over. My wife's like, we're finishing this, and because HBO Max did the thing where they drop 3 episodes, and it's two episodes. So the last 2 episodes are tonight, and it's different, but I loved it. It's just so different than anything else on television, and I really enjoyed it. So.
All right, we'll do your USSR on that eventually. All right, so we're going to wrap it up for this week. We'll see what we have for next week when that time comes for Sainte and Jeremy. Oh, wait, I got to tell all the stuff. TheUsualSaints.com. Go there to find us. The Usual Saints on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We have a phone number. It's on the website. I don't care. No one uses it. But go ahead and find us there. Yes. Or you can email us at usualsaints@gmail.com. Oh, and we didn't get any because I didn't get any notifications. But if you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we will read whatever you have to say. We do need to get some swag and give it out like Pixie does for Next on Stage 1, even though it was just probably that one shirt that she's giving out that was fucked up or whatever she said. But still, it's swag. It's free. Whatever. All right. So really wrapping up for now. Jeremy and Sainte, I'm Mike D. You've been listening to Usual Saints. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Hey, I'm Pixie from Next on Stage 1 podcast, and it's going to take me 12 fucking times to get this right.